What Stacey Says, the weekly podcast.
Real lady, real life, real views. Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.
And here's your host, Stacey.
Hello everyone. How are we today? How has everyone's week been? Look at my face. It knows that I'm sort of like going to record today, so it's like I'm going to break out like a teenager. So I've got a spot there and a spot there. Well, never mind, this is the real me. So if you don't like it, you don't have to watch, really, do you? Anyway, I'm on one. I'm absolutely on one. I've got my thermals on because, as per usual, the Great British Weather don't know what to do and make its mind up. So I'm looking at a massive big black cloud at the moment, and there's like a ray of sunshine. So it was absolutely pissing it down this morning. As you can tell, I've had to shove my hair up because I look like Wurzel Gummidge. Or if you stuck me outside in a field, I'd probably scare the birds away because I look like a scarecrow. Either way, make someone happy. Cheers. Oh, it's so strong, it's disgusting. Never mind. So we are on episode 8 of the normal ones. I haven't done a special one for a long time, but I will, because I will get back into the swing of things. Because I spoke a couple of weeks ago about like mental health and all that kind of stuff, and I'm starting to feel a bit better. So hopefully we will get back into the swing of things. I am talking today about unlikely friendships and did you meet somebody at first and didn't like them, or did you look at this person and think I would never be friends with them, and now this person is in your life and you wouldn't have it any other way? So I'm going to tell you about how my best friend became my best friend. And it's kind of like, when I think about it, I think, Stacey, you were such a fucking arsehole. And we now laugh about it. We've been friends for 20 plus years. This woman has seen so much of me. She's seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the disastrous person. She's wiped tears. She's been my backbone when I really, really needed her, and I just love her. I love her dearly. They say your friends can be your soulmates, and she's definitely that. So her name is Kerry, and I met Kerry when I lived in Spain. We all lived in Spain. So Kerry moved out, I believe, I might be wrong, she might correct me, in the March or kind of round about that time. And I moved out in the August now of 2003. That sounded really fucking horrible. So I was 17. So I had turned 17 in the February, and Kerry had obviously turned 17 in the March. And obviously I didn't want to go to Spain. That's a whole different story. I wanted to stay on at school, and I wanted to become a solicitor, and I wanted to study family law. And I changed my mind right at the last minute. I think my mum could have throttled me because everything was packed, the house, the dog, my brother, the pub, everything. And I turned around and said to her, I want to come. And it was literally about a week or so before they flew. And my mum was like, I could kill you. But I went, and I said, no, don't get your hopes up. I said, because I'm only coming out here for 6 months and then I'm going home. I said, and if I don't like it, I'm going home sooner. Well, that didn't work out because I stayed there longer than my mum and dad. And when you move abroad, it is a massive culture shock anyway. And I'd left all my friends behind, and I was starting a new life of what I thought would be the rest of my life in Spain. So we had a couple of villas that we lived in prior to settling in our forever villa. and it was located sort of like near bars and restaurants and places and all that kind of stuff, and it wasn't, sort of thing. So I started work in a restaurant called Picasso's, and I was a waitress, and I literally worked so hard. We all did. We all did. And my other friend, who's in my group of friends, Suzanne, she used to work in the restaurant next door. And she'd been out there, God knows, I don't know how long, probably a lot longer than us two. And she obviously knew that I was new. And she was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, come out with us, after work and come and have a drink. We're only going down along the strip, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, okay, new friends. I'd like that. Like, because I felt really lonely. I thought, I haven't got no friends. I've only got my brother. And he's obviously 7 years younger than me. And I literally go to work and that's it. So we went to, I think, I might be wrong, the girls might correct me on this. We went to another friend of mine who had a bar out there called Hayley. And I think we went there. I might be completely wrong. Or there was a bar called Big Ben or somewhere like that. And I met Suzanne there. And we were drinking, She went, oh, my friend Kerry's coming along. You'd really like her. Well, Kerry came along. And I didn't fucking like her. And it sounds awful. She was stunning. She blonde, curly hair. They all had like sun-kissed skin where we were like on the beach. Not now, where I look like I fucking shaved my face and I've got, what is it, razor rash or whatever. She was stunning, absolutely stunning, and she was so sweet. And not like me, who swears like an old fisherman's wife. She was really, really lovely. And I was like, I do not like you at all. I don't know why. It was horrendous. And I tried that night to sort of talk to her, and I thought, no, she's not a bit of me. I don't like her. There is something about this girl I do not like. And it sort of went from there. So I stayed kind of like away from her. And it got to the point where if she walked in a place, I would finish my drink and walk out. It's so funny now, because if you see us two, you would never in a million years think that this is how we met. Never. Like, I absolutely adore her. I go and see her and her husband and her children as much as possible. She's my hairdresser. She's my therapist. She's everything. She's like literally the other half of me. But when I tell people like how we met, they're like, oh my God, really? And when I told James, he was like, really? I was like, yeah, I couldn't stand her. Could not stand her. Don't know. He went, why? I said, I couldn't tell you. I don't know why. Don't know why. She didn't say anything wrong to me. She wasn't rude. She was really lovey-dovey and like polite. And I just didn't like her. It was horrible. And this went on for ages and ages. And because we worked so much, like Kerry worked in a little chippy down the road. Suzanne was in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant. And it was long, long hours. Like, we weren't finishing till God knows what time in the morning. And thankfully, there were places that sort of stayed open so you could get a drink. I mean, there were some nights that we weren't rocking in until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up, going to work and doing it all over again. The whole life of living in Spain at that time was brilliant, but it was, when I think about it now, I think, how the fucking hell, one, did I make it to nearly 40 years old? And two, how the hell I could get up after a very heavy night and go to work, still with a wristband on, still in the same clothes, clutching a 2-litre bottle of water, and do it all again. The thought of it now makes me want to heave. It generally makes me want to heave. It's absolutely disgusting. I could never in a million years do that now. I can just about have, say, one or two glasses of wine on a school night, because I know and this is where it will probably lead to my addiction episode, that if I have more, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel awful in the next day. So I tend not to do it. So this went on for about, I want to say, maybe 3 or 4 months. It might be longer. Kerry might correct me in the comments when this one drops. And we were out and we were we'd all finished work and we'd like met up in a bar, and Kerry walked in and she knew what I was going to do. She knew that I was going to finish my drink, I was going to make my excuses, and I was going to get up and leave. Now, Kerry was a bit tiddly. We all were a bit tiddly. And she, as I went, okay, thanks, I'm like, she went, whoa, hang on a minute, where the fucking hell are you going? Sit down. And I was just like, whoa, hang on a minute, because out of the friends, you've got me, that will rip your fucking head off and then ask questions later. Suzanne is quite fiery as well, or she was. And then Kerry was like the pacifier. She would try and talk us out of screaming and shouting, and she was like, no, she's the sensible one. No, you need to think about it logically. You need to do this, you need to do that. Think about it. And I'm like, no, I just want to punch them. But she would always, this is where I mean, she's like my therapist, because she would talk me into trying to be a good girl. And I was like, oh, okay. She went, just sit down a minute. And she went, I think we were all at one point drinking vodka and Red Bull. I do not know, but the thought of even drinking that makes me want to throw up in my mouth. And she brought me over a drink and she sat down opposite me. And I'm just glaring at her, thinking, oh my God, what's she going to say? And the words that come out of this woman's mouth was, what the fuck is your problem? And I just fell in love with her from that day. I laughed at her and I went, do you know what? I actually don't know. She went, well, do you think you could be a little bit civilized, and do you think you could stay and have a drink and say hello to me? She went, I'd really appreciate that. And that was it. That was the beginning of a 20 plus year friendship. I thought, I just adore her. And I don't know, I genuinely couldn't tell you why I didn't like her. She'd never done anything wrong to me. She was lovely. She's always been lovely. And that was the start of our unlikely friendship. Now, this woman has seen me at my lowest. And I mean my lowest, obviously. When I lived in Spain, I obviously had a drug addiction, which is a whole different episode. And we talk about it now, and she says to me, one, you hid it well. She went, because there were times where I didn't even know that you were on it. She went, and two, she went, and for me, and I say it to her all the time, if it wasn't for her, then I probably wouldn't be here, because there was a time in my life in Spain that I was doing too much, and I think she slapped me around the face at one point and said, I'm not burying you. And that woke me up a bit, and I thought, right, I need to get my act together and I need to sort this out. And she in a way helped me. She helped me through a lot of things. And then our friendship sort of blossomed from there. And we all eventually came home from Spain for different reasons. And we still kept in touch. We've still got a massive circle of friends. We still talk to quite a few people out there, but everyone's got their own lives, and everyone sort of gets on with their life and gets into a relationship, has children, get married, and all that. And we all got together, including me, because we all live so far away from each other. Obviously, she's an Irish girl, so she's in Dublin. I think Kerry's the closest person. Then we've got another friend of ours who lives in Birmingham. And then we've got another lady and her sister who lives sort of, I have no idea actually. I don't know where Siobhan lives. But we all sort of Siobhan got married a couple of years ago, and we all flew to Greece for her wedding. And it was amazing. It was so lovely to have us three together. And then when Siobhan had got married and done what she did that day, which was such a beautiful day, at one point we didn't even think the poor woman was going to get married, because it just rained constantly. She had to actually move her wedding, bless her heart. But to all be together was so lovely. It was just amazing. It was really, really lovely. And the memories that you talk about and the things that you did and what you got up to. And it was very humbling to look around that wedding and think, I've known all of you for about 20 years. And I was so, so pleased that we'd all kept in touch in some way or another. Me, Suzanne and Kerry speak every day. And it's really, really, really lovely because you need your friends like that, I think. And when you get a good friend, you don't really want to let them go. So going back to this woman knowing everything about me, I think if we were to not ever speak, I'd have to kill her because she knows too much. There's some things that she knows that others don't know about me. So I think I'd have to get her to sign a contract to say that she's going to always be my friend. I've been to her wedding. I was her maid of honour at wedding. Her children, I just adore her children. And she has been my backbone in a lot of things. And I am forever grateful for her. And I will continue to be forever grateful for her because there were times where I thought I couldn't do things or couldn't carry on, and she it's like she knows. It's like she knows that if I'm not right or I'm not having a good day, she will message me and she said to me, I know you're not right. And I'm like, how do you know? I ain't spoken to you in a long time. I just fucking know you're not right. And she went, so what's going on?
What Stacey says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.
So yeah, that is my unlikely friendship with Kerry. I've been on holidays with this lady. We went abroad. We're trying to go abroad again because we all sort of turn 40 next year. I'm February, Kerry's March, Suzanne's April. So we're all trying to get 5 of us together. So that would be a eventful experience. It'll be lovely. I'm actually quite looking forward to planning things and getting things in place. I could speak about our friendship. I said to her when I said I was going to do this episode, I said we could do a whole podcast on our experience and our friendship and what has happened and the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the different, the ugly. It could be our own show. It could be not so much like the Kardashians, I don't want to say, but it could be something like that. It would be an eye opener. There's just so much that I could talk about in regards to our friendship. We have done so much, and I just adore her. She's so brilliant. When I told her that I was going to do something like this, she was like, "Go for it, just do it." Both of them were, and because when you sort of have shitty relationships and you go through trauma and whatever, you do lose a lot of your confidence. And I lost a lot of mine, and I thought I couldn't do that. I couldn't sit there and talk to myself or create an episode or anything like that. I couldn't do it. But I think with that, the support network that I have from all of you, you have kind of kept me going, because there have been times where I thought about stopping doing this, thinking I know Rome wasn't built in a day and it's going to take a long time. And I'm thinking, oh my God, nobody likes what I'm saying. Nobody likes what I'm talking about. And I just thought I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to go, oh, that was an experience. And I'm just going to jack it all in. I don't think my editor would be too pleased about that either, because he's fantastic. He's very supportive. Any questions I need answering, any ideas that I have, he is amazing. So I'm very grateful and very humble for him. And James is brilliant. I say to James every time I've got to go and record tonight, do you actually think I'm doing the most stupidest thing in my life or what? So it's nice to have a good support network around you. Another unlikely friendship that I have with a lovely couple, and I will mention them because I've been thinking about mentioning them. me and James obviously went on holiday last year, and the group or the franchise of hotel that we stayed in is called a Mitsis. And James has said that he'd stayed in this hotel before, into this range of hotel before. But he was very young, so he didn't know where it was. So I said, well, what's it called? Like, we're out in Crete. What's it called? How far away is it? It's got to be around here somewhere. So he found it, and then we found out that we were actually staying in the hotel next door that James had stayed in, so that it was next door. And he went, come on, let's go for a walk. Let's go and have a look. So we walked down to this hotel that we're actually booked to stay in this year. And I was like, we've got to get in there. So me being me, because I'm very anal about things, I had looked everything up on Facebook, joined all the Mitsis groups on Facebook, and I wanted to talk about this hotel, which is the Laguna. And I posted in there and said that me and my partner wanted to come and possibly book to come this year, like next year. And this lovely lady that I want to say, her name is Susan, she messaged me and said, oh, me and my husband and my family are coming out tomorrow, and we're staying at the Laguna, and we've stayed there 5 times, this being our 6th. And I was like, blimey, if you've stayed there 6 times, this has got to be the hotel for us. She went, I'd love to show you around. I land at 12 o'clock. I'll be at the hotel by 1. And I was like, oh, okay. So I said to James about it, and he went, yeah, okay, we're up for that. And the next day came, so we were down by the pool, and then we walked to the Laguna, and this lovely couple who, she says, I'm your older cousin, because she won't be called my older nan or granddad, was standing there, and they showed us to a lovely lady who looks after that hotel, like guest relations manager or someone like that, and they allowed us to walk around this hotel, and we booked to stay there this year. And this lady and her husband and her family are flying out about 4 days before we go home. So we've got 4 days with them this year, and we are so excited to see them and actually be at the hotel. This lady has messaged me nearly every day asking how I am, and especially when I'm having off days and things like that. And I mentioned that I wanted to get my teeth done, because when I watch my videos back, that is one thing that I don't like, is my teeth. I can sit here with no lashes. I can sit here with bad skin. I could sit here with grey hair, but it is my teeth. That is the big, big thing for me. And her husband had his teeth done in Budapest. She's sent me every single bit of information about where to go, how to book it, what I'd need to do. Like, this woman I adore. I get so excited when I talk to her, and she's just so full of knowledge. Her and her husband have done everything they could possibly do in the world, maybe not. And she feeds me so much ideas for this podcast as well, and things like that. And I'm so, so grateful that our paths crossed, because I'm a big, big believer in you meet people for a reason. I met Kerry for a reason, and she's going to be in my life for the rest of my life. And I've met this lady, Susan. I think I'm saying her now as well, because I don't want to say Suzanne. I think it's Susan, for a reason. And I just really, really got a lot of love for her as well. And that is my 2 unlikely friendships that I have. I've probably got more, but I could be sitting here all night. But they were the 2 that really, really stuck in my mind. One woman I did like, and now I can't be without. And one lady I met because of her love for a hotel. What can you say? This will be her 7th time that she goes to this hotel. And when we go on holiday, I will be posting photos and videos and whatever. I probably won't do an episode for a couple of weeks, but I will definitely be feeding you all the lovely photos. I can't wait. I might not even come back. We shall see.
What Stacey says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.
So that is my experience of unlikely friendships. I do want to know yours. So please comment, like, share, subscribe. I had some really, really good news today as well. Like TikTok now allow you to upload videos up to an hour. So that's good for me. So all my full episodes, if they're over an hour, will still be on YouTube and still will be on Facebook, but you can now find them on TikTok as well. You can email me at whatstaceysays@outlook.com, but I really want to know your unlikely friendships. So thank you again for listening. I love you all. Thank you for your support every week. I do a live now, getting a little bit more confident with them. That's just me talking out of bollocks at the time. But they only last for a month. So they only last for 30 days. So if you want to catch up on them, you're going to have to catch up on my Facebook page. And that is me. That is my stories. So get in touch and thank you for your support through everything. Thank you to Kerry. This is my dedication to her. She'll probably blush or she'll probably cry or both. And I will see you all soon. Love you lots.
What Stacey Says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.